Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only, Luigi here, and I am back for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, as you probably expect at this point in time. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS as a remake, while we're playing for the Hidden Mansion mode. So, last time, we essentially did manage able to continue things on during the course of Area 3, and as a result, we somehow finally managed able to obtain the majority of certain golden frames for not just by the forms of certain other portrait ghosts, specifically Slim, Bank Shot, especially noticeable with the forms of Nana. So because of that, we are basically all settled by then. So because of that, yeah, we're actually going to be pretty good to go for the most part. So today, for this video, is about the fact that we're about to able to exponentially, we can able to finish up everything for the sake of Area 3. Now, because of this though, if you couldn't tell already, I somehow switched off my Nintendo Wii, but that's mainly because there is actually technically a strategy you can able to do if you're having certain struggles to able to actually catching certain boos. Like, for instance, I was about to able to catch one of those boos that does have less health, but he's ridiculously fast, and you know what I mean, as soon as we're able to actually go back into this particular room right here, because obviously, if you manage able to quit the game, or potentially speaking though, if you switch off the game and turn it back on again, basically, the actual boo respawns just somehow goes back into its original placement, and in addition to that, unfortunately though, the health decides to able to regenerate it, so let's just hope that this particular boo does not get into the sealed room, which thankfully it doesn't. So it's just about the fact no matter what though, certain boos are very difficult to obtain, because, you know, like I said before, they just go ridiculously fast, like, you know, gotta go fast kind of syndrome or something, so. And I just get the horrible feeling, I think that particular boo is gonna go into, the next room, which is not in the washroom, so, and it's a good thing we did somehow manage able to go after, the water elements, because we can now able to take care of those specific, water or fire element ghosts, so we can potentially try to able to get rid of them both, by just simply spraying water. So because of that, kind of think about it, it's almost like a prequel to Super Mario Sunshine almost. Well, exponentially speaking though, as far as I'm aware of, but either way though, let's just go ahead and obtain some more cash and stuff like that. No diamond in here unfortunately though, but regardless of everything else though, it's about the fact that we're actually doing pretty dang well. For the most part anyway, so, oh okay, so one of those boos in particular was actually now in Nana's room, so at the very least that's a good thing, so, because otherwise though, if that particular boo just somehow gets into the sealed room, we have to wait until whenever we get to Area 4, so because of that, hopefully though, oh jeez, no, come on, oh, he's almost down, and I've lost some of my coins, but that's okay, because again, you don't need to worry about the forms of getting hit most of your time, and he's now ended up in a bathroom. Okay, that's a little bit different, especially concerning for the fact that normally we can never find any of the boos during the course of in a bathroom, so I guess that's that. So, anyway though, a few things I want to explain for this point today is that, well, today's date is of course the 29th of October today, in some cases in 2023 today. Only 2 more days to go until Halloween is about to start. So because of that, yeah, and that's the perfect example of why that I was expecting about the fact that maybe this particular Let's Play will be finished by Halloween. So because of that, perfect timing as well, especially concerning after the events of how the fact that this is the reason why that I haven't exactly uploaded anything for Luigi's Mansion for not just Buddy Forms of On. I think that was only on Friday potentially, but that's mainly because I still need able to get a lot accustomed to the forms of trying to able to capture certain ghosts within that specific distance. Although mind you about the fact that it's been about I would say it's been about 3 days ago since we've last played this game, because obviously no matter what though, that because recently about the fact that recently Ray, the flying squirrel, he now recently finished up everything for the sake of Castlevania Bloodlines. So because of that, and by that time and during the forms of the actual year itself as far as it goes by, well, I think suffice to say, we'll pretty much have to continue things on in the Castlevania series until next year in 2024, so we can able to actually tackle even more Castlevania stuff, which are Castlevania The Adventure for the sake of the Game Boy original version, as well as Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, and on top of that, Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth on the WiiWare. It's kind of unfortunate you can no longer get that particular remake on the WiiWare for not only for the Wii, but also for the Wii U as well, because obviously the Wii Shop channel has been shut down. So because of that, I can't believe it's been almost 5 years ago since when that happened, especially concerning for the fact that I really do miss the old days, as you probably already expect. So, despite the fact that it's pretty lacking with save states, unlike the forms of how it does it on the 3DS Virtual Console or Wii U Virtual Console, and even now and then, Nintendo Switch Online services, that it does have save states. So, relatively speaking though, it's one of those ages kind of stuff. So either way, there's the gold mice right here. So, despite I just got hit by that regular blue ghost mouse around here, but either way, we got ourselves 22nd blue diamond. So, that's actually pretty swell. I get the strong feeling about the fact that, well, if we're about to take care of the forms of certain ghosts, well, unfortunately though, I choose the wrong element. So, you know what that means? I need to quickly fetch an ice element. So, but then again though, it's been 3 days ago since we've last played this, like I said before. Especially about the fact that, let me tell you something, we're about to take a break on Castlevania stuff until, like I said before, until next year in 2024, that we can able to tackle through the second half portion. Likely or so, as I mentioned this before, hopefully we'll get around onto Castlevania The Adventure, as well as Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge, both on the Game Boy, and on top of that, the remake of Castlevania The Adventure, in some cases Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, as well as from that, Castlevania Rondo of Blood for the TurboGrafx 16 or PC Engine, and finally, Castlevania Dracula X, which is more accurately like a watered-down version of Rondo of Blood, mainly because, well, there's only one playable character during the course of Dracula X, or, for those of you who lived in a European country, the game was actually called Castlevania Vampire's Kiss, so not exactly sure how they managed to compromise that for its different name, for its different title alone, but either way. So yeah, we can able to potentially try to freeze up these guys, so seriously, I need to able to try to get close to one of them. But here's the thing, if you manage to able to, like, yeah, as you can tell, that I have to let go of the R button immediately, just in case I don't want to get hit most of my time. So, anyways, with regards to such though, we actually got some hearts at the very least, after getting hit by that particular blue mice, that just somehow respawns from that particular safari room. So, and I just realized drat, there goes some of my coins. Yeah, you see what I mean about the fact that certain rooms are going to get a little bit more difficult? Well, potentially speaking in this particular mode itself. Although, whenever it gets to the point it's on the, oh nice, we can able to actually get some even more health. So that should be all pretty swell. Oh, and by the way, drat, I just realized we actually got poisoned mushrooms. So this means we can't do anything, so. And by the way, yeah, if you're most able to get scared, then obviously that you hear the high-pitched voice of Luigi just goes like, kind of stuff. But I digress. So, yeah, not much explanations for the sake of time. It's just about the fact that, oh yeah, and by the way, something's worth noting for, if we get to the blackout bit, basically though, I will promise you guys, I will able to actually bring one of my elements with me. Specifically, let's just say the fire element, just in case about the fact that we can easily take care of certain things throughout, rather than just try to rush things up, unlike the forms of how it does on my roughest run, during the course of the normal mansion playthrough, because I just have no idea that I somehow completely forgot about the actual elements. So either way though, because relatively speaking though, I think using elements will be coming handy at this point, especially if you're having certain struggles to able to actually capture certain ghosts, then you can able to actually disintegrate them. So even then though, unlike in Luigi's Mansion 2 and 3, I don't think there's any elements we can able to utilize with, so anyway though, so that pretty much takes care of everything for the likes of Safari Room, especially that we've already captured the gold mice in here, so yeah, that should be pretty swell. Now I believe, relatively speaking though, I think we've only got one more gold mouse left, although unfortunately though, I don't really think I can probably able to go after the last gold mice in this run, mainly because at this point in time, I'm pretty sure I've got enough let's just say silver or blue diamonds for that part. Although, potentially speaking though, until later on though, we will still able to guarantee to get ourselves 2 gold diamonds on that particular run. So, relatively speaking though, it is still possible about the fact that if you miss one of those gold mice or speedy spirit, then you can still make it possible about the fact that you can able to actually make your way to rank A as much as you can. So, but either way though, that's all I can really think about this. So, anyway, so now we're on to 24 boos so far, and exponentially we'll get 15 more thanks to the forms of boo losses fights. Now, as far as I'm aware, that this is still the PAL version of the game, there's going to be a massive changes for the sake of the forms of, well, there's only one massive difference between the, you know, obviously with multiple versions of Luigi's Mansion for the sake of the forms of the Hidden Mansion playthrough, but then again, we'll get around into that. But first, let's go ahead and obtain the water element, just in case for watering some more, well, plants, potentially speaking. So, and also I do need able to get some more health eventually, so because of that, hopefully we'll make it happen. So, but anywho though, something's worth noting for is about the fact that, usually relatively speaking though, is about the fact that we did somehow manage to get ourselves a confirmed release date for the likes of the 3rd Paddington movie, which appears to be Paddington 3. So as a result, no matter what though, that film is about to be releasing at some point in 2025, for what I've heard anyway. Now it's going to be releasing until January 17th in 2025, so we still pretty much got to wait for a little bit longer, especially it's bad enough about the fact that at this point in time that the actor strike is now coming to play. So because of that, yeah, it's getting pretty ridiculous kind of thinking about it with all its complications for the sake of the films of this year in particular. So yeah, anyway, and of course the Boo Radar's gone acting like crazy in the balcony because obviously we're able to encounter not 1 but 15 Boos on that particular balcony. So, but even then though, it's nice to be back on the forms of Luigi's Mansion at the very least, because aside from all that stuff though, I'm pretty sure that I've almost like finished up every single Treehouse of Horror episodes rundown for the likes of The Simpsons, potentially speaking. Although, I'll get to my, one of my favorite segments until when it gets closer to ending conclusion for the sake of the forms of this particular game Let's Play wise. So, anyways though, so let's go ahead and water these plants here so we can get yet another emerald, so we can able to not only get a heart, but also just get another emerald. And I think, relatively speaking though, I think that's all we can gather for every single emerald of this particular run-through has to offer. So, yeah, it's actually super top-notch. So, and also we've once again met again with the forms of that particular red diamond, which is nothing worth it. Although, if you really want to go after it, just, well, you might be a little bit optimistic about it, especially concerning for the fact that obviously it just gives you 5,000 gold. So, nothing special in particular, but regardless of such though, yeah, by all means you can able to do that. So, unless if you really want to go for a 400% run-through completionist, but either way though, but even then, we're actually not doing too bad so far, despite getting hit most of the time for certain rooms in some scenarios, but either way. But since that we've now got every single element with us, that way we should able to make things a little bit more easy to manage, especially whenever we get to the blackout bit. Then obviously we still need able to try to keep in track of not only 1 but 3 speedy spirits. So, and of course the best advice I can think of is of course bringing the actual fire elements, which we'll get to that if we manage able to get started with area 4, the final area in the game, for the second time. So, anyway, so let's go ahead and do the actual fast travel from that particular mirror. And I did not mean to scan this particular poster of any sorts. So, yeah, because I just have no idea why I somehow triggered it. So, oh, and one of the subject for this point though is that certain films have been officially being pushed back until 2025. Specifically, the next Pixar movie called Ello, I think is what it says anyway. Basically though, that film is now being pushed back until June 13th of 2025. So, yeah, it's pretty insane if you ask me. I'm not exactly sure what's causing it to delay. Let me know in the comments down below of what is going on with that particular film, because obviously about the fact that originally though, that film was supposed to be released in 2024, or maybe because they weren't able to be a little bit more strategized, or to be more specifically, they try to plan a strategy to able to release one of those films at a time per year, just like the films within the past years, ever since in 1995, or something relates to that, because I know for a fact that in 1998 that we've got one of those films, which is of course A Bug's Life, and especially noticeable in 1999, that we've got Toy Story 2, and then in 2001 we've got Monsters Inc., and you know the rest. So, either way though, let's go ahead and take care of the forms of Boo losses in the PAL version of the Hidden Mansion playthrough. So because of that, although we might as well able to actually classify if we realize to say this, is that this is without a doubt the hardest boss fight in the entire game, at least in my opinion, which as a result, yeah, this is where things get a little bit more different around here, and it's a good thing I did somehow saved just before when this happens, because, well, you'll see why as soon as we get this fight started, so... Oh, good lord, look at his face. So yeah, if you couldn't tell already, instead of able to actually walk on foot, as you can see, we're actually catching a ride on Portuguese 3000, and as a result, although the entire battle remains the same, except there's one little difference, and that is the fact that you're able to move around all over the place, and as a result, you still need to able to utilize the ice element in order to able to actually just freeze up those boos, and then as a result, the more you do them, then you would able to actually just to get not only some more ice back, but also you can able to stack up some more boos to your disposal. So because of that, definitely a little bit harder than the forms of how it does it on the normal mansion playthrough, specifically on the PAL players, because obviously you're able to ride it on the actual Portuguese 3000, and it's definitely a little bit more unintuitive at points, especially because if you really want able to suck up Boo losses, as you can tell, and then if you manage able to get hit by Boo losses himself, you will lose a whole bunch of cash, and on top of that, you're able to actually lose a bunch of health. So because of that, it's definitely not a guarantee to able to get ourselves a gold frame on this run, especially concerning that I just keep on getting hit a lot. So, as a result, it's a good thing we did somehow already maxed out our health just before this happens. Especially, kind of thinking about it though, it's actually kind of unique in that respect. Although it's kind of weird about the fact that in the North American version and the Japanese version never come across into this particular solution, because only the PAL regions, specifically the European version and the Australian versions, only existed for this particular point. So, although, kind of thinking about it, the entire arena itself remains pretty identical, like, for the sake of the forms of how the arena plays out to be, which that could be also applies for any other boss arenas as well. So, but either way though, I just have no words to say about this, so... But yeah, it seems kind of weird able to actually just to, like, move around and stuff like that, even though about the fact that I keep on, like, notice something right from the start though, is about the fact that this is where the fact that I honestly have to admit it though right away is about the fact, oh jeez, okay, come on, oh drat, yeah, if you're too slow then obviously you need to able to freeze one of those boos again, so, god, I couldn't imagine about the fact that if Cap Kings 34 has ever able to experience this part, but I've heard anyway, they did have a lot of struggles with this particular boss fight in this particular playthrough of Hidden Mansion as far as I'm concerned. Although, thankfully though, on the 3DS version, does not seem able to trigger this part right here, so... Ah, jeez. And yeah, I totally get the idea, I think I might also get the bronze frame for this, but that's okay, because obviously we still got the glorious gold frame during the course of in a normal mansion playthrough, so that's obviously a good thing on my part, especially how lucky I was, so... But, during the forms of I would say back in 2011 or something like that, my god, I keep on getting screwed over by the forms of keep on getting hit by a lot of boos potentially, and yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. But, regardless, we've done it. Oh wait. Surprisingly enough, it did actually took me one attempt, so despite I don't think it's a possibility we can able to get the gold frame sadly, but I'll take it, so... I'll take it indeed, especially concerning that I might also get a bronze frame, just like Bulkmare, especially because I just keep on getting hit most of the time, so... But with that being said, Area 3 in the Hidden Mansion playthrough is done. And it looks like we've only got one more area left, and that'll be it for Luigi's Mansion entirely. So, oh yeah, something worth noting for actually, is that whenever you start the game, on the 3DS version anyway, there was actually, technically speaking, there was actually a side quest you can able to do if you go into the gallery mode, where I think I should probably explain more details about that if we get started with Area 4. So because of that, yeah, I get a strong feeling about the fact that it seems to be more specifically that when it comes to actual main boss fights, that it's actually pretty difficult to get a gold frame on this particular mode, I have to be quite frank. So, yeah, there goes the bronze frame. So, and I believe for the majority of any other, like, portrait ghosts, obviously we will finally get a chance to get the gold frame. So, there goes my silver frame, so goodbye to some of them. So, as a result, hello to gold frame counterparts of certain portrait ghosts. So, that was actually pretty tight. It's almost a perfect run by any means, just like the forms of Area 1 and Area 2, but I'll still take it regardless. So, but anywho though, so yeah, we somehow caught 16 ghosts, so yeah, so now we've only got 7 more to go until we basically conclude everything for Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube. I don't think it's possible for me to able to tackle for the 3DS version because it remains the same, except, well, the controls, like I said before, is not as intuitive as the GameCube controller in my opinion, so... And of course, we're still missing one more collectible left, which we're about to aim for anyway, because we're just now on to Area 4. So, yeah, 102 million. So that should be enough. If we keep on obtaining some more blue diamonds, then obviously we will be good to go. So, anyway, I just want to double check if the Boo Losses is still on gold frame right here. So, yep, he's still in gold frame. So, luckily though, we don't need to necessarily worry about this. And I think we've only got one gold frame left. That's what it appears to be in Area 4. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to save that up once we get to the finale portion of this playthrough. So, God knows how long that'll be, but either way though, this is all depending on how much boos we're about to be catching. So, anyway, so now, once again, our boo counter is now increased, so now we're on to 39. But as far as I'm aware, we've only got 6 more left until we're able to actually access the final area in the game. So, anyway, so before we get into the blackout segment, we need to once again water this particular party ball flower, as we obviously attempt to. So, hopefully, that'll make it happen. And that way, we should be able to actually get ourselves our glorious gold diamond, and of course, a jackpot of gold money, and all that jazz. So, there's our first gold diamond right here, as always. So, but again, it's important to know I need to able to bring out my fire element as soon as we get to the, you know, the blackout part. And also, I was like able to show you guys what really happens if you continue your progressioning for, you know, the blackout part, then obviously about the fact that you would be able to actually guaranteed able to notice there's actually a secret during the course of in a telephone room, which, as a result, yeah, we will get into that as soon as we get the blackout part started. So, in addition to able to actually finding ourselves the next 3 Speedy Spirits, I honestly have to admit though right away is that I think, to me though, finding Speedy Spirits is actually a lot easier to me than the forms of how it does it for certain gold mices in my opinion. Mainly because no matter what though, I pretty much know certain locations inside out. So, speaking of Inside Out though, is that I'm pretty sure that Inside Out 2 is now going to be the major Pixar release for 2024 at this point. So, at least expectedly enough, I don't know if that particular film will get delayed as well, but if it does manage to happen to be, well, who knows, because obviously, in addition with the films of Ello has been officially been delayed until 2025, also, the live-action movie of Snow White is also being delayed until 2025 as well. Not exactly sure what the heck has happened here, but honestly, I just don't care because I am so done with the films of those live-action Disney movies at this point because not only it's not the same anymore, but it's also about the fact that they change a lot of things. They keep on messing things up for the sake of nostalgia factor, so, but that's just me. So anyway, so we meet again at the balcony lit up part, and now we can activate the next door that we can able to continue our progressioning for the sake of the forms of, well, now onto area 4. So, and of course, we've now meet again with the blackout. So, but thankfully though, that we got ourselves the fire element, so thankfully it should make things a little bit more easier for ourselves. So, but before you get into, like, trying to find the, you know, 3 speedy spirits, in addition to come across into the portrait ghost in this particular portion, well, let me show you something. If we go into the telephone room, if you managed able to already onto the blackout part, and that is, well, as you can hear, the telephone starts ringing. So because of that, let's just go ahead and pick up, let's just say 2 phones specifically. So, yeah. And yeah, basically Luigi says hello onto the phone. Now you can able to actually go for like Luigi or Bowser, but regardless of such though, Luigi is the only thing we can able to do for this point. And from here we can able to have a chat with not only Toad, but also with Professor Egad as well. But if you dare manage to able to answer the next phone, basically something will happen if you talk to both Toad on the separate phone and Professor Egad. And I believe that gives us a hint of what the commotion is all about. Especially that the reason why I don't do this on the Phones Within a Normal Mansion playthrough, because I already know everything. So because of that, this is what really happens if you attempt to do that method, which as a result, yeah, he mentioned the forms of one of those portrait ghosts, specifically Uncle Grinley, so hopefully we will be able to actually go across into him in once again in the wardrobe room. But after that though, there's an ambush, so because of that, we need to get rid of these ghosts immediately until you progress. So yeah, something to keep that in mind, especially considering for the fact that, well, good thing we've got the fire element with us, so just in case we can easily manage to take him down. But sometimes I obviously got cornered by certain situations, so, but that's okay though, because hopefully, oh jeez, okay. There we go. Oh man, I need to able to try to, oh god. Oh, that was close. But at least he's almost down, so, and luckily the suction upgrade has been upgraded, so at least we don't have to necessarily worry about the forms of some very long hordes of ghosts that we can able to take down. But if you get rid of all these ghosts in that particular telephone room, then obviously you can now able to get the heck out of here. So, and now we can probably go back into the forms of not only in some rooms in Area 2, but one of those rooms in Journey forms within Area 1 as well. And let's just make sure we're able to actually use the mirror travel system for the sake of the forms of after taking care of the forms of Uncle Grimley, because last time it was a bit of a mess, because as a result that we keep on getting hit, you know. But anyways, let's get the, you know, not only the conservatory, but also with, the nursery, and of course the hidden room. But again, since that we've got ourselves the fire element with us, then it should make things no problem. So I suppose so anyway. So, but yeah, not much else to say, because obviously, yeah, it's kind of unfortunate that certain films have been delayed, you know, because of the actor strike has been going on. So as to be expected, but regardless of such though, they just really want money, that's all there is to really think about it, so. But anywho though, so yeah, let's just go into the conservatory for, presumably for the final time. And of course, just like always, it's probably best to get rid of those ghosts first, just in case if you really want to go after that speedy spirit, then obviously you can able to take care of these ghosts first, so. I will admit though right away, those pink punchers always gives me a hard time for some reason. Not just because of the forms of power fact that I was not very great when it comes to timing with my button presses, but it's also about the fact that with that particular long punch that she obviously keeps on about, it was so disgustingly long range for that particular punching and stuff like that. So, anyway, I think that basically takes care of every single ghost from here, so even I know that should be all pretty swell. So, yeah, let's just check on this particular chair again, and there he goes. And of course, we get ourselves another blue diamond, but of course, if you couldn't tell, there's no way we can able to save the game as be expected, so we have to able to go for this blackout part without saving the game until you're able to actually come across into the breaker room for, presumably for the final time, so. But regardless of such though, it's about the fact that luckily we've already did manage able to take care of the forms of Oh, really? Okay. Those stupid little mices or certain ghosts just keeps on interrupting my progression. Oh my lord, that is too much. Okay, so I've almost run out of my fire element, so... Oh, okay. Good thing I somehow dodged that, so... Alrighty. Oh man, this is gonna get a little bit more intense around here, so and obviously I do need some more health around here, especially because, you know, I just really need it. So because of that, hopefully we should be able to almost reach back up to 100, but I'm usually 10 health left, so that's okay, because I think that should be still enough if I decide able to go after the next 2 speedy spirits, so... And at this point, is now we're now on to exactly 1,000 coins, so that should be all pretty swell. And, oh goodness gracious me. Sometimes, I will admit though right away, is that utilizing the C-stick can be felt a little bit finicky at times, but luckily though, I did somehow manage to execute it well enough, so... Oh, seriously. It always just goes... disappeared as soon as I was gonna press the R button, but either way, I'm pretty sure that takes care of it from here. And now, there's a speedy spirit right in there, so we're able to get yet another blue diamond, and of course, some more cash, and that'll be it, so... But, let's get into the forms of the hidden room now, and luckily we still managed able to save up our fire elements with us, so just in case we can now able to use fire wisely, so we can able to easily take care of the last batch of ghosts, including that about the fact that maybe it's probably best for me. Oh, god darn it! That stupid mice! Oh my god, they appeared everywhere. But luckily though, this is the final time we can able to explore certain parts of Area 1, so... But anyway though, hopefully we should be able to get our health back for that particular chest of drawers right here. Oh, goody. So that should be enough. So that way we could able to go back to 100 health. So easily said and done. I think, relatively speaking though, is that I think I'm in the wrong way, haven't I? Yep, this is the wrong way. I should pay attention to that. Maybe because I keep on thinking about the normal mansion layout, but sometimes it takes a bit of while to able to go from point A to point B for certain rooms alike, but I don't think it's possible for me to able to actually catch one of those boos for the time being, because like I said before, until when it gets to the point until likely when the light has gone back up, then, oh, good thing we somehow managed to got the fire element with us, because there's the ice element ghost, so thankfully though we can easily decide able to take them down, so... And, oh, jeez, okay. At least, thankfully, we did somehow stun 2 ghosts, so we can able to get some health back, so that's a good thing to notice. And there we go, so... Oh, seriously, I just got poisoned again! Oh my goodness gracious me. But at least, thankfully, we didn't lose, too much health, at the very least, so we just only lose some coins, so... And good thing, we can able to get fire back, so just in case for the elephant in the room when it comes to fighting certain speedy spirits, and that's of course the hidden room, so at least thankfully we can now able to use the fire, so take this! I almost assume about the fact that they'll try to bring the Shy Guy like ghosts, but apparently it doesn't, so... And there we go, all settled. Now it's going to get the next speedy spirit, and there we go. We've done everything in the blackout for now, until we now decide able to go after the portrait ghost that we're about to go after. So, and of course obtain a key, and then we should able to bring the light back out. So, yeah, not doing too bad. At least I will admit though right away that the hidden mansion mode run through for this blackout part is actually not too bad I was expecting. Although, maybe next time is about the fact that, well, as I said before, I don't think it's possible for me to able to tackle for the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion, because the setup is a bit awkward, and on top of that, I'm just not a big fan of the 3DS version to me, though. But it does have some interesting stuff, though. Likely, oh, goodness gracious. I totally forgot about these explosive ghosts did show up. But, thankfully, though, we can easily try to avoid it from here. Oh, you kidding me? No heart. That's just great. That's just great. Okay. So yeah, anyway, let's get to the informs of that particular point while in this process, is that, potentially speaking though, if you have a first time playing through the 3DS version of Luigi's Mansion as a remake, that if you get to the point after that particular brief tutorial part, is that somehow you can able to actually do that particular side quest and during the forms of the updated version of the gallery thing, and basically what happens is that you need to able to obtain the Game Boy cartridge in order to able to actually access to the Game Boy Horror on the forms within the 3DS version, which is kind of interesting. And in addition to that though, also after that though, we're able to actually get our first glimpse of the reference for Luigi's Mansion 2. Now the reason why I say that, because on the 3DS version, you do have the ability to play 2-player co-op, like one player controls Luigi, and the other player can control as Luigi. So because of that, that was before when Luigi's Mansion 3 pretty much does the same thing, except that it does manage to take place in a different building. So anyway, so thankfully we now utilizes that particular mirror travel system. So yeah, we got every single collectibles for now. So anyway, so now let's go ahead and go on to the breaker room, and now we can able to bring back light. So at least we don't have to worry about dealing with the actual blackout stuff for now. So, and of course, if you missed out on that Speedy Spirits in the breaker room, then there's no way you can able to obtain it. So, at that particular point anyway. So, there we go. We got all the lights back up, and regardless of such, at first I thought that was actually a lot harder than I was expecting, but I will admit though right away, the Blue Losses fight in the Hidden Mansion mode is by far the hardest that we're able to actually come across into. So, at least specifically if you ever played the European PAL version, as you probably already addressed that. So, darn it, that boo just got away. So, that's just great. But at least on the upside, we actually got a lot of things going on at this point. So, I think potentially speaking though, we can now save the game. So, I think what I'm going to do is that we're about to tackle through the last room for now. And potentially speaking, we will be able to hopefully catch some more boos and during at some point in Journey forms of not only for tomorrow, but for the time being, also is that, well, like I said before, we'll hopefully be able to actually finish the game during at some point around the same time as when Halloween is about to begun. So, now I'm pretty sure about the fact that a lot of people out there has already decorated the entire Halloween decorations in the entire homes and stuff. So, anyway, let's unlock this door to actually access to cellar. So, anyway, another Speedy Spirit right in there. So, there we go. Alrighty, not doing too bad. And I believe we've only got one more Speedy Spirit left until we're basically done with all these Speedy Spirits that we somehow obtained. So, again, I'm not exactly sure if I was expecting to go after the last gold mice, because I will admit though, trying to come across into the gold mice in the sealed room is pretty luck-based, because you never know if you're about to able to trigger it, or in some cases though, does not trigger at all. So, oh, okay, I can use the fire element for that fence, so that's actually handy. But either way, let's go ahead and get rid of you. And there's a gold bar, which I was about to obtain it. So there it goes. But yeah, that's all I can really say about the forms of today's topic at this point. So because of that, yeah, it's kind of sad that certain films have been delayed. But honestly, I don't care about the forms of one of those films, as I mentioned this briefly, which is of course the live-action version of Snow White, because obviously I just don't really care for it that much. Because still, the good news about the fact that Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is still being scheduled until 2024's release. So, at least I'm hoping so anyway. So, anyway, so there's a boo around here somewhere, which, kind of think about it, I think it was in here? Oh, we did somehow found one. Alright, come on. Hopefully I'll need to get at least one boo from that particular area. Ah, you kidding me? I'm hoping it does not go into the forms of the cold storage that we haven't exactly got to yet. Speaking of such, I spoke too soon. Well, at the very least, technically speaking though, at least we did somehow caught 17 boosts, technically, like 2 separate ones in Area 3, and 15 of them thanks to boo losses, so at least that's that. So it's certainly a lot better than just only catching one boo at the beginning portion of Area 4 during the course of a normal mansion playthrough. I mean, that is quite embarrassing, so... Either way though, with that being said though, I think we should probably save the game, and in addition to that, we're also able to end off the video as soon as we're able to talk to Toad right here and save the game. So yeah, join me next time for more of Let's Play of Luigi's Mansion for the Nintendo GameCube / Nintendo 3DS as a remake. Is that we're about to continue exploring through Area 4 and hopefully catch some more boos. So I'll see you guys until tomorrow. Later fellas.